North Korea leader Kim Jong-un take a one-time shot at peace. Clashes erupt in Masaya as Nicaragua crisis continues. Russia's Putin dismisses G7 criticism as, quote, babbling. China's Xi says rejects self-centered, short-sighted, and closed-door policies. Trump withdraws endorsement of G7 joint statement. Plus, thousands of volunteers join the Great American Cleanup by keeping Tampa Bay beautiful. Hello everyone, I am Rose Papa Angeles, bringing you stories from around the globe, and this is Eagle News, Washington, D.C. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump arrive in Singapore Sunday for an unprecedented summit, with Pyongyang's nuclear arsenal at the top of the agenda and the U.S. president calling it a one-time shot at peace. Bringing the Korean War to a formal end 65 years after hostilities ceased will also be on the table at the first ever meeting between a North Korean leader and a sitting president of its imperialist enemy. It is an extraordinary turnaround from the tensions of last year when Kim accelerated his weapons programs, earning the North more sets of UN Security Council sanctions, and the two men traded personal insults and threats of war. But critics charge that the meeting risked being largely a triumph of style over substance. Kim arrived in Singapore on board an Air China 747 that, according to flight tracking website, Masaya, a city battling at the front lines of Nicaragua's heated anti-government protest, once again became the scene of a fierce street battles that a rights group said saw one man die of a bullet wound to the heart. Firearms bursts rang out on Saturday in the city home to 100,000 people, where riots that started midday grew increasingly violent as masked demonstrators wielding homemade mortars and slingshots fought to fend off armed security forces. Alvaro Leiva, head of the Nicaraguan Association for the Protection of Human Rights, said at least one had died after a bullet struck his heart. Leiva said the gunman was a sniper, implying a member of Ortiga's security forces or government-backed vigilantes. The mortal wound came hours after the Nicaraguan Center for Human Rights had raised to 137 the death toll in the Central American country, where demonstrations demanding President Daniel Ortiga's ouster have raged since April 18. The Center for Human Rights said at least 2 people had died in violent protests overnight, one in the northern city of Jinotega and another in Managua. Leiva said conditions were growing increasingly grave because of crossfire, not tear gas or rubber bullets. He said the situation in this moment in Nicaragua is a crisis. Leiva called for the world to pay attention to Masaya. The city just outside of the capital, known before for its 3-lined streets, traditional crafts, and nearby volcano of the same name, has taken on the appearance of a war zone. Demonstrators, many of them young men, huddled Saturday behind barricades constructed from cobblestones, felled trees, and sheet metal, the ground littered with broken glass and spikes to further guarantee no cars would pass. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Sunday dismissed criticism by the Group of 7 Nations as creative babbling and said it was time to start cooperating again.
Все проявили солидарность с Лондоном по поводу известного события в Солсбери. Ничего конкретного опять сказано не было. Мне кажется, надо прекратить всю эту болтовню творческую и перейти к конкретным вопросам, связанным с реальным сотрудничеством. Шанхайская организация сотрудничества, как я уже сказал, это подтверждает МВФ, уже страны Их совокупная экономика по объему, по паритету покупательной способности стала больше, чем объем экономики стран «семерки». Это говорит о том, что у нас огромные перспективы.
Putin also said that G7 countries had again failed to provide any evidence that Russia was behind the poisoning of a former double agent and his daughter in Britain in March. G7 leaders demanded Saturday that Russia stop what they describe as attempts to undermine democracy and support for the Syrian regime as they close the door on Moscow's readmission to the club. The G7 endorsed Britain's accusation that Moscow was behind the poisoning attack in the southwest of England on former double agent Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. The G7 statement said, quote, "We share and agree with the United Kingdom's assessment that it is highly likely that the Russian Federation was responsible for the attack and that there is no plausible alternative explanation." As in the past, Putin took issue with the phrase highly likely, saying that G7 nations' solidarity was based on flimsy ground. Up next, China's Xi says rejects self-centered, short-sighted, and closed-door policies. Trump withdraws endorsement of G7 joint statement. Eagle News Washington, D.C. will return in a moment.
Agila Balita, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 8 ng umaga.
Papalo ang populasyon ng Pilipinas sa higit 105 milyon sa pagtatapos ng 2017.
Ayon sa Population Commission o POPCOM, malaking bahagi nito ay nasa mahirap na sektor.
At para malabanan ang kahirapan, isa sa nakikitang solusyon dito ay ang eco-farming.
Ang eco-farming ay paraan ng pagtatanim na ang gamit ay organic fertilizers at pesticides. At sa pagtatanim, kailangan din ng mga agricultural equipment para mapatubo ng maayos ang tanim gaya ng palay, gulay at prutas, pati na ang mga punong kahoy.
Sa tulong ng pamahalaan at iba't ibang organisasyon, mahihikayat ang mga komunidad para itaguyod ang eco-farming. Kapag naani na ang produkto, mayroon ng tiyak na kita at matutulungan silang maging self-sustainable.
Kaya naman ilang universidad ang nagtatag ng College of Agriculture para mapukaw ang interes ng mga kabataan sa mga kursong pang-agrikultura. Lalo't ito ang pangunahing kabuhayan ng Pilipinas. Kapag suportado ang sektor ng pagsasaka, matitiyak din ang food security ng bansa.
Ako po si Eli Saludar.
Ako po si Weng de la Fuente.
At ako naman si Sam Cepeda.
Kaisa po kami at ng programang Mata ng Agila sa pagtataguyod ng eco-farming.
Welcome back. You're watching Eagle News, Washington, D.C. The leaders of China and Russia Sunday praised the expansion of the regional security bloc at a summit which put on a show of unity in stark contrast to the acrimonious G7 meeting. President Xi Jinping gave the leaders of Pakistan and India a special welcome to their first summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in the eastern Chinese city of Qingdao since their countries joined the group last year. Founded in 2001, the SCO also includes the former Central Asian Soviet republics of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani, whose country is an observer member, also attended the meeting as he seeks Chinese and Russian support following the U.S. withdrawal from the nuclear deal with Tehran. Warning that unilateralism, trade protectionism, and a backlash against globalization are taking new forms, Xi spoke up for the pursuit of cooperation for mutual benefit. While never mentioning the United States by name, he added, quote, "We should reject the Cold War mentality and confrontation between blocs and oppose the practice of seeking absolute security of oneself at the expense of others, so as to obtain security of all." Xi, whose government is locked in tough negotiation with the United States to avoid a trade war, said World Trade Organization rules and the multilateral trading system should be upheld to build an open world economy.
尽管单边主义、贸易保护主义、逆全球化思潮不断有新的表现，但地球村的世界决定了各国日益利益交融、命运与共、合作共赢是大势所趋。我们要秉持开放、融通、互利、共赢的合作观，拒绝自私自利、短视封闭的狭隘政策，维护世界贸易组织规则，支持多边贸易体制，构建开放型世界经济。
Addressing the SCO leaders, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the addition of Pakistan and India means that the organization has become even stronger. The show of unity was in marked contrast to the calamitous end to the Group of Seven meeting in Quebec City after U.S. President Donald Trump disowned a joint summit statement and lambasted Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as dishonest and weak. Responding to criticism of Russia in the G7 statement, Putin told reporters that the group should stop this creative babbling and shift to concrete issues related to real cooperation. The G7 text made no mention of Russia being invited back into the group despite Trump's support for such a move. Russia was expelled in response to its 2014 annexation of Crimea. Putin did not miss an opportunity to thumb his nose at the club of leading industrialized democracies, saying that the combined purchasing power of the SCO outstripped the G7. U.S. President Donald Trump dramatically withdrew his endorsement of a joint statement at the end of a G7 summit in Canada Saturday, in a row over trade, accusing the summit's chairman Justin Trudeau of dishonesty. Trump said in tweets sent from an onboard Air Force One, quote, "Based on Justin's false statement at his news conference and the fact that Canada is charging massive tariffs to our U.S. farmers, workers, and companies, I have instructed our U.S. reps not to endorse the communique." Trump, who is on his way to Singapore for a summit with North Korea's leader, also reiterated warnings that his administration was mulling tariffs on automobiles flooding the U.S. market in a move that would be primarily aimed at another G7 member, Germany. The U.S. president then had angry words for Trudeau, saying the Canadian Prime Minister had acted so meek and mild in their joint discussion, only to later pledge in a press conference that he would not be pushed around. Very dishonest and weak, Trump said, adding that recently imposed U.S. tariffs on imports of Canadian steel and aluminum were in response to similar measures imposed on American dairy products by Canada. Thousands of volunteers joined the Great American Cleanup by keeping Tampa Bay beautiful. That's next. Eagle News Washington, D.C. will return shortly.
As Eagle Broadcasting Corporation marks its 50th year, it is conducting several activities under the theme EBC Cares, enabling a better community. Health and nutrition are key factors on child's learning and well-being. EBC's feeding program encourages the community to combat malnutrition among children and ensure them a healthy future. EBC's cleanup drive and citronella planting hopes to help the community in caring for the environment and preventing diseases such as dengue. EBC's public service program, Paglilingkod sa Bayan, Serbisyo para sa Mamamayan, has opened its doors to government agencies so more people can avail of these services. EBC's blood donation program and medical mission continue to spearhead life-saving projects, and EBC's livelihood seminar teaches and guides those who want to have additional income and business. EBC Cares, serving the people in these interesting times.
Agila Balita, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7:30 hanggang alas 8 ng umaga.
Pamahal ng pamahal ang presyo ng bilihin at serbisyo ngayon. Kaya naman mahalaga sa bawat pamilya ang mabisang pagbabudget. Ang pagbabudget ay plano ukol sa laang gugulin. Sa pamamagitan ng mahusay na pagbabudget, malalaman kung paano natin aayaw-ayawin ang perang pumapasok sa atin. Narito ang tips sa tamang pagbabudget. Alamin ang mga prioridad o yaong pangunahing pangangailangan na dapat unahin. Halimbawa ay ang makapagtapos sa pag-aaral ang anak. Maging conscious spender. Ibig sabihin, marunong tayong mag-prioritize sa mga bagay na totoong kailangan at gusto lamang natin. Subaybayan ang pag-google. Dapat may listahan ng ating gugulin para malaman kung saan napunta ang perang pinaghirapan. Maaring subukan ang envelope system. Dito, titiyakin kung magkano ang kailangan na gastusin gaya ng pagkain, damit, pamasahe, gastos sa pag-aaral, bayad sa kuryente, tubig at iba pa. Iwasan ang pangungutang, mag-isip mabuti sa pagkuha ng pahulugan at paggamit ng credit card. At magsanay sa simpleng pamumuhay. Sa maayos na pangangasiwa ng ating salapi, nababawasan ang stress at makakaipon din ng pera na gagamitin sa panahon ng pangangailangan.
This is Eagle News, Washington, D.C. I am Rose Papa Angeles. Melissa Allen takes us to Hillsborough County, where over 4,000 volunteers join hands in beautifying the city to support the Great American Cleanup, an event hosted by Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful. Take a look.
What makes the city beautiful? Is it landscaping? Is it building structure? Is it the streets? Here in Tampa Bay, hundreds of volunteers came out to the Great American Cleanup, a community service cleanup project that is hosted by KeepTampaBayBeautiful.org.
This is the Great American Cleanup, and it's being done nationwide through the other affiliates through Keep America Beautiful. And it's actually the largest environmental cleanup day that we have each year throughout the nation.
An affiliate of Keep America Beautiful, Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful strives to keep the environment clean and inspires through education and action to go green.
Well, we're really here to give back to the community, and Tampa Bay is an important environmental part of our community and part of what keeps us vibrant and brings people and tourism. So we're here to help make sure we keep it clean, not only for our residents, but also for all of the animals and fish that live here as well.
For our site here today, we have about 300 volunteers signed up for this particular site. There are 50 to 60 sites across Hillsborough County where the same activity is happening, and we probably have about 2,500 volunteers in Hillsborough County that are showing up to do the cleanup. And it ranges from families with young children to corporations who have groups of folks that do community service. So we all kind of pitch in and help make sure the area is beautiful. Our Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful also does tree plantings in parks and in neighborhoods as well. So depending on what's needed, we arrange to get the trees and we arrange the volunteers to plant them. So it's very rewarding work.
Here in the Church of Christ here in Tampa Bay, I'm one of the head deacons, and one of our organizations that we have here, which is part of our community outreach program, is the Einstein Giving Project. And today we're actually helping with a coordinated effort with the City of Tampa here for the Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful initiative. For us, really, it's a part of us expressing our desire to want to be a part of the community. As a local congregation here in Tampa that was just newly established back in November of 2017, we actually want to outreach into the community and be able to help and provide any assistance that we can with everything from helping to do cleanups in the community like this and other charitable efforts that we've set up to do.
I think it's really volunteers, because we have an extraordinary number of volunteers that help us every year. It's really necessary because this particular park has one ranger that's here all day, every day. Her name's Terry, and she can't do it by herself. So today we had our hefty volunteers dig out a big truck tire out of the beach with shovels, and we rolled it up to the street here. She could never have done that by herself. We've had a couple of boards that washed up on the tide. She couldn't pick those up, so we help her with some of the heavy lifting. And the parks department's kind of constrained with budget and people and hiring and that sort of thing. So volunteers, I think, really help make our parks work and help keep them clean.
And as easy as that, we can all help our environment. Now that's coastal cleaning at its finest. I'm Melissa Allen with the EBC Florida Bureau, and we are always one with 25.
Thank you, Melissa. That is today's Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Join us tomorrow for stories that matter to you. Visit our website at eaglenews.ph and eaglenewslive.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Thank you for watching. I am Rose Papa Angeles, and I am one with 25.